He's coming back. Terrifying discovery in Jordan shocked us all. A pool of water close to the Dead Sea in the biblical region of Moab, which is now Jordan, has mysteriously turned blood red. Workers from Jordan's Ministry of Water and Irrigation are taking samples of water from the Red Lagoon, which is right on the border with Jordan. They are trying to figure out what is causing the strange phenomenon, which hasn't been explained yet. The pictures have caused a big stir on social media. In the Old Testament, blood red water was one of the 10 plagues that God sent to Egypt's Pharaoh to free the Jews from slavery. What is happening to Jordan's Red Lagoon? Let's find out. The Dead Sea is a salt lake in the Judean desert of southern Israel, bordered to the east by Jordan. It is also one of the saltiest bodies of water on Earth, and its history goes back about 4 million years. Its high salinity, which is more than 30%, means that its waters are full of minerals. People have long said that bathing in the Dead Sea is good for your health, even though the water is too salty to support marine life. People with breathing problems like cystic fibrosis seem to benefit from the higher air pressure in the area, and the temperature, humidity, and minerals in the water make it a great place to treat skin problems. People who have knee osteoarthritis have also said to feel less pain after using Dead Sea mud packs. The Dead Sea, on the other hand, has shrunk a lot over the past few years, probably because of climate change. At its widest point, the Dead Sea is about 31 miles long and 9 miles wide. Since the 1950s, the water level is thought to have dropped by more than 131 feet, and it continues to drop by nearly 2 feet every year. The Society for the Protection of Nature in Israel says that blood from slaughterhouses in the West Bank seeped into the Alexander River and turned it blood red last year. God turned the water in the Nile into blood as the first of 10 punishments for the Pharaoh's refusal to free his Jewish slaves. This killed the fish and kept the Egyptians from drinking the dirty water. The blood-red pond is on the eastern shores of the Dead Sea, which is also where the 2 cities of Sodom and Gomorrah are said to have been before God destroyed them for being wicked. The head of the Al-Qurat Council's Water and Agriculture Committee, Fatih Al-Huwamel, said that the government has been asked to find out where the water is coming from. But a spokesperson for Jordan's ministry, Omar Salameh, says that the mysterious red water's cause is still unknown for now. But a few ideas have been put forward about why a lagoon that is far from a source of fresh water might suddenly change color. Yassin Al-Kasasbeh, who is in charge of agriculture in the southern Jordan Valley, told Roya News that this happens in ponds near the ocean because of a type of bacteria and red algae that like salty water and change color when the sun shines on them. But this doesn't explain why the water turned red all of a sudden, while water in other pools didn't, especially since the area has sunny skies almost all year long. Other officials told the media that the strange color change could be caused by iron oxide in the water, but they didn't say how the iron oxide got into the pool or why the color change happened so quickly. Meanwhile, Sakir Al-Nusor, the head of the Jordanian Geologist Syndicate, told Al-Ghad that the red color might have been made by people. Many Jordanians agreed and said that the government was hiding a source of pollution or using the pool as a place to dump chemicals that were no longer useful. Since the predictions about the end of the world say that a lot of water will turn to blood, the question is whether or not the events we are seeing now are also in the Bible. According to Revelation chapter 8, verse 8, the second angel blew his trumpet, and something that looked like a big mountain that was on fire was thrown into the sea, and a third of the sea turned into blood. This verse tells what happened when the second angel blew his trumpet, and something resembling a massive mountain on fire splashes into the water. This big thing might be a meteor. The first trumpet said that there would be hail, fire, and blood. Some people think that the first trumpet will be a meteor shower, which will be a sign of a much worse disaster. The sea is not the same as lakes and rivers, which are freshwater sources on Earth. These people will be affected by a trumpet judgment that will happen later. Maybe this judgment happens in the Mediterranean Sea, which is ruled by the beast in Revelation chapter 13, verses 11 through 18. Even though this end-of-the-world figure isn't mentioned until later, it will have come by this point in the tribulation. During the tribulation, the beast will control most of the trade. Because a third of the sea turns to blood, during the second trumpet judgment, the beast will lose a lot of money. This sentence makes us think of what happened when Pharaoh wouldn't let the Hebrews leave Egypt. Exodus chapter 7 verses 14 through 22 says that the Lord told Moses to tell Aaron to take his staff and put his hand over the water in Egypt to make it turn red. After Moses and Aaron did what the Lord told them to do, the Nile turned to blood. God will punish the beast for making life hard for people who don't worship the head of the revived Roman Empire, just like he punished Pharaoh for making life hard for the Israelites. In Revelation chapter 16, verses 3 through 6, the second and third bowls of God's wrath also turn water into blood. The second angel poured his bowl into the sea. The water turned into the color of a dead body's blood, and every living thing in the sea died. The third angel emptied his bowl into the rivers and springs of water, which turned them into blood. Also, Revelation chapter 11, verse 6 says that the two special witnesses will be able to turn water into blood. During the time of tribulation in the end times, all of these things happen. The Bible and religion have a lot to say about the Dead Sea. During the time of the Bible, different Jewish groups lived in caves near the Dead Sea. The most famous of these groups were the Essenes, who are said to have left the amazing Dead Sea Scrolls in the caves at Qumran. The scrolls are a collection of about 25,000 pieces of old writing. Among them are the oldest copies of Hebrew Bible books that we know of. In 1946, they were found in the Qumran caves near the Dead Sea. Biologist Oded Rekavi of Israel's Tel Aviv University called it one of the most important archaeological discoveries ever made. Archaeologists are putting the scrolls back together piece by piece. Sodom and Gomorrah, which are mentioned in the book of Genesis, are thought to have been on the southern shore of the Dead Sea. Ein Gedi, which is now a nature reserve near the Dead Sea, is where King David hid from Saul, who is famous for killing Goliath. In 2011, scientists from Israel and Germany found cracks in the Dead Sea floor that let fresh water rise up from under the bed of the sea. Even though the salinity of the water makes it unsuitable for marine life, many species of bacteria and archaea live on the sea floor and feed on the minerals that rise up through the fissures. The area's atmospheric pressure, warmth, and mineral-rich water make it a popular tourist destination with mythical healing powers. Muslims believe that the ancient city of Sodom, which was the home of the prophet Lut, was near the Dead Sea. In the Quran, the people of Sodom are called ignorant, evil, and sinful people who ignored God's call to do right. These people included murderers, thieves, and people who did sexually immoral things in public. Lut kept telling everyone about God's truth, but it didn't help. He even found out that his own wife didn't believe. People think that God punished the Sodomites harshly for their wrongdoing. The punishment, according to the Quran, was to turn the cities upside down and rain down on them brimstone, as hard as baked clay, spread layer upon layer, marked from your Lord. The punishment is now done at the Dead Sea, which is a symbol of destruction. The Quran says that the place of punishment has been marked as a sign for those who come after. No doubt, there are clues here for those who can read them. Surely, there is a sign for those who believe in it. Because of this, very religious Muslims don't like the area around the Dead Sea. If a Muslim goes to the Dead Sea, they should take some time to think about the story of Lut and how he stood up for justice among his people. According to the Quran, we also gave Lut wisdom and knowledge, and we saved him from the town that did horrible things. In truth, they were a rebellious and evil people, and we gave him mercy because he was one of the good people. But recently, reliable news reports have shown water turning blood red in Nootdorp, the Netherlands, Bondi Beach, Australia, the Beirut River in Lebanon, a river in Zhejiang Province, China, and even rain in Soengala, Sri Lanka. And that's the end of our video. Please let us know what you thought about it, and if you enjoyed the video, please like it and subscribe to our channel for more updates.